Hi, my name is Isla Wilson, my pronouns are she and her, and I am the proud chair of CWP. This month in board, we had a really detailed and fascinating discussion about how we make decisions as an organisation. And that's because we were talking about our new decision-making framework and how we create a mechanism, not just to decide whether to do things, but to work out how we prioritise things, work out what the intended and unintended consequences of decisions might be going forward. And we talked about how we get better at that. We talked about how we make the voice of people with lived experience much louder in that process. And we talked about how we make that fit for scale. So how do we carry on making decisions that need to be made by people at the time in services? How do we decide what needs a more detailed discussion? It was a very nuanced discussion, and that's because it's important. We all know that we work at some pace and that we're under pressure to get things done, but we also know that sometimes we benefit from just taking that step back, a zoom out, and thinking about what will flow from decisions that we make. And then something else happened on board day that wasn't in board, but is an example of something I've seen several times over the last few weeks, which is that something needed to be fixed on board day to make the meeting more accessible for some of the people attending. And there was no obvious solution. There was no policy or framework for us to follow, and we didn't have loads of time to think about it. We just needed to get some stuff done to make the room work better for the people who were going to be with us. And members of the team just did it. They were creative, they were really fast, really rapidly thinking, and really committed to just going, do you know what? There must be a way we can make this work better for more people. And people literally rolled sleeves up. People worked together, and they just got it done then and there. And it just struck me how important that is, that we can get that balance right of deciding what needs to be done then and there to make things better, continuing to push to make big, ambitious, strategic and wide-ranging decisions that will change things for our population. And the thread, I think, that makes both of those things important is that in both instances that I've talked about there, instinctively and automatically, people put people at the centre of those decisions. They worked out what was needed, what was the best fit with our values and what matters with us, and they got that done. And it was really lovely to see kind of almost both ends of our decision-making spectrum in action in one environment, and to see the instant difference that we can make, and to think about the long-term systemic changes that we want to be part of. Thank you as ever for all that you do, and for being a team full of people who put people first.